Morning, folks. Another cool morning here on the homestead. You see behind us we have a small Kubota tractor with a bobcat or a backhoe attachment. And while I've got it here, today's our day of rest, so I'm not going to be resting. I'm going to be straightening some things out around here on the homestead, and got a lot to do that I can take and use this tractor for. We've got the our fence line out front, mostly sagebrush, a couple of desert hollies that need to be cleared out, and going to try to get as much done as I can today, because tomorrow is going to be a real busy day. I've got to take old Yeller down. There's a boy down St. John's. He's done some work for Miss Anna and mechanic work. He's going to put a clutch in my truck. We barely pulled this thing home. The clutch just giving us a lot of fits. Couldn't change gears like I need to. So we'll get that took care of this week. All that being said, I've got to get with it. I've still got to feed. I got a few things I got to do. Miss Polly's got to go do laundry. So I've got to get the truck cleaned out, and I'll show you some items that we picked up that's really going to help here around the homestead. Okay. We went the other day. Sorry about the sunlight. And we got these Duracell. They're 6 volt, 75 amp for like 120 minutes. They'll run at 75 amps. That's each battery. And we're going to upgrade our solar system. And we needed a pure sine wave inverter, so I picked up this Jupiter pure sine wave 2000 watt. For the money, it seems pretty decent. It comes with everything. It's even got a remote switch, on-off switch, so you can locate it anywhere you need to. Right now, we're running on an 800 watt with a 1600 watt peak, so it'll do a startup of 1600, but it runs 800 watts. Mostly all we run right now is just our electronics. And some other good news, we got Starlink. They already shipped it, so we're going to have internet here at the house. One of the things it's going to allow us to do is upload videos more regularly, easier. It won't take all night. This system here is going to help us not have to run our generator. I have upgrade panels that I'm going to take and hook up on this system. I already have the charge controllers, so this right here is really going to help us, and we can add more batteries as we need to. Once Starlink is here, I can't run it on the inverter that we have, because it is a modified sine wave, not a pure sine wave, and it can cause problems with your electronics, but I know for a fact that it'll cause problems with the modem, the Starlink modem. So got to get this pure sine wave hooked up before we hook up our Starlink, but we're super excited about it. It's really going to help us out. It's going to help us get some things done around here. So I got to get these unloaded for Miss Polly. I've got some other tools and stuff in the front I've got to unload, and then I'm going to get to work.
It's real easy to get discouraged when you're building a homestead, particularly like we are, off-grid, starting with a raw piece of land and doing it debt-free. And we didn't come into it with a great large sum of money. We are working steadily to bring in income to do the projects that we need to do here on the homestead. You just have to look at every little thing you get done as a victory and try to prioritize what you want to get done and chart a course forward to get you where you want to be. Having patience is the best advice I can give anybody. Sometimes it's hard.
Okay, this was our test hole for our 2 test holes for our septic. Our tank is going to go right here. Our field line is going to go right in here. And anyway, I wanted to get these 2 holes straightened out. There's a lot of stuff I need to do around here. I need to clean up where I cleared this. The house is going to sit right here where the camper's sitting. The camper's going to be moved. We're going to put the house right here. That's a few days away, nonetheless. But I wanted to clear this out right here and clear this up. I'd like to really clear all this. I don't know how much time we'll have. I just have today to use this, and then tomorrow it's going to be back to work.
We didn't start down this journey of off-grid living with some master plan. We knew what it would take because 20 years ago we lived off-grid, and we had an idea of how rough it would be. But along the way we've hit a few roadblocks financially, with our health during the whole pandemic, I guess you could say. But we've always just trusted in God that we were doing what we thought was right for us and our family. And where we had been in Tennessee, it seems like a lifetime ago that we left Tennessee. We knew that there wasn't much there for us, and I was really relieved when we moved out here, and I've been relieved many times since, just finding the happiness of living out here off grid and away from the hustle and bustle of the rat race. The main thing you have to keep in your mind is to just keep moving forward, and don't let little setbacks define what you're doing.
I'm gonna go out and clear up the road. We've got one spot out there that's real sandy. I'm gonna take you guys out there with me and do that. Then I've got to clear the fence line along the front. I'm gonna have to get the chainsaw out and do some clearing so that I can see and get my post up here on the northwest corner. We still don't know exactly where it's at. I've got to measure and get that, so I'm gonna get after it. I just had me a little bite to eat, a little sandwich, a little turkey sandwich, and gonna get back after it. It's going on noon, so I'm gonna take advantage of as much daylight as I can.
It's really easy when you're in the middle of your journey, the middle of the struggle, to kind of lose perspective. One of the advantages of doing a YouTube channel and having YouTube videos is you can go back and look at where you come from. I periodically go back and look at the very first videos that we did, not only for artistic inspiration, but also just to really put perspective on where we came from. This road, if you go back and watch the very first video of us clearing it, it was just sagebrush, and we cleared out sagebrush and drove in. The very first time we had to cave in the bank, couldn't even drive over it, and just the driveway itself is a monument to how far we've come. When I drive up it now, I think back to what we had when we first started almost 3 years ago, and we've come a long ways. We've done a lot. Sometimes you just have to stop and look back and see what you have accomplished. And sometimes it looks like that the journey ahead is a whole lot longer than where you've come from, but you just keep moving forward. Best piece of advice I can give about this is don't compare yourself to anybody and what somebody else is accomplishing. Just you do you.
Well, that tractor ain't a precision piece of equipment, but I think it looks pretty decent. I widened it out. We have a 30-foot easement that goes through here for the county road to the south of that post there, and that's actually where the road's gonna go. This old sand doesn't pack. I tried to run the tractor back and forth just to pack it down in there. I'm not too worried about it. It's pretty hard down there. It's this, from this hill here all the way down to almost the road, it gets real sandy, real bad. It makes it hard to get in and out, especially when it gets wet. It expands and you can get stuck. So anytime I have a piece of equipment here where I can work on it, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I could have made it wider down there, but the more you have a road, the more people tend to take and want to drive down it. I just assumed they didn't. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna measure my 30 foot and I'm gonna clear out for my fence line up here on the front, and I'm gonna start cleaning out the fence line. Been on this thing all day. My legs are starting to hurt. These equipment bouncing around, the older you get, it's kind of hard on you. So right there's the property line. I've got to measure up here 30 feet, and I think it's somewhere right in here. So I might have to trim some trees, but this is really steep, and I've got to clear all the sagebrush out of the way as best I can and make it somewhat of a clear space to run the fence line through here. This is my 30 feet. I'm not gonna have to trim as much as I thought, because if you can see it or not, that's our post. See if I can get my finger somewhere down there. There's a post, and fence line's gonna run right there. Probably gotta trim that pinion, maybe this cedar, this juniper up here just a little bit, but I'm gonna go down to that end, start pushing this way, start clearing out all the sagebrush and everything, and see if I can't get on this hillside here a little bit, and hopefully not get stuck or roll over.
If you were to walk around this homestead, you would find a lot of projects that are half finished. The old adage is, if I've got time, I ain't got no money, and if I got money, I ain't got no time. But eventually, hopefully, I'll get around to getting a bunch of them finished up. Wintertime, weather's an issue, cold's an issue, and things like clearing this fence row have been an obstacle in our way, and sometimes it's hard to see progress because I'll work on something one day a little bit, work on something else one day a little bit, and just don't get anything completely finished for a while. And on top of that, you just have maintenance. That's the one thing that I think is understated the most about homesteading. Once you do complete a project, there's maintenance. There's animal maintenance, there's facility maintenance, infrastructure maintenance, just like the road. And that takes up a lot of time. The more infrastructure you have, the more animals you have, the more things you have going on, the more maintenance you have. And if I could go back and change any one thing, it would probably be to focus on just one thing at a time and not be tempted to start a new project thinking I was going to finish it up real quick, when in reality it was just going to be sitting there until I could find the time. But now, because I can't go back in time and change it, I just have to work on what I can work on when I can work on it, and ignore all the other projects until I can get to them. When you're a homesteader, you have to be a problem solver and a logistics expert. And if you're a good juggler, that comes in handy too.
Yeah, I've got to trim this one pinion right back here, probably back to the base. And I cleared out this hole. This was kind of sketchy, this hillside. I cleared out this whole area here. May have to trim this tree here and that tree up there, but it's looking pretty good. Be able to get our fence in here. I don't know if that tree's actually in the way. Maybe just a few branches. And this one's definitely in the way. I got a few more I got to push down. Over on the other fence line, I'm going to push it out of the way. May get out the chainsaw and trim that other one and get them pushed away. It's a whole lot easier to handle when you got a tractor. So Miss Polly came back. She approved of the driveway, and she's making some grilled chicken. So as soon as that gets done, I'm gonna be having some of that. And but in a pretty good day today. It's always nice to have equipment around. This right here would have not been this clean, and it would have been a whole lot of work to do by hand. So I'm really thankful to be able to use this tractor today. And we've been waiting a long time to get this done, and slowly but surely we're getting it done. We actually have T-posts down on that end, down to the horse pens, timeless posts. We're gonna put timeless posts up through here. May have to get a few more, but it's all gonna be timeless and high tensile up here. I think it'll just look nicer, and then we're gonna paint all of our corner posts, so it's gonna look real good. I'm gonna get over there, try to get that tree pushed out before supper's ready. Well, just had some grilled chicken, some green beans, potatoes. That's my favorite right there. Green beans, potatoes. I like them when they've been cooked for about 3 days. I really like snap beans. I like snap beans better than I do just regular green beans, but any green beans will work. And had this good old mac and cheese. Got the carbs in. I was down here working earlier. I pushed this tree out, but it's going to need probably some more pushing. There's quite a bit of it still here, still connected. A lot of this is loose. The roots are really loose. Try to get back in here before dark and get a bunch of this pushed out. There's still one big tree over in there that needs to be pulled loose. Little old tractor will do pretty good. It ain't got a lot of guts, but it'll do pretty good. Just give it its time and just keep working at it. This tree here is I think it's broke loose. It's just so heavy. Maybe I can push it around. Right now I gotta go feed. It's that time of day. And maybe I can push some more on this when I get done. But I got quite a bit done here today. Let me take you up here to the camper. So here is what I did up here around the camper. Miss Polly really wanted me to do this. So I got a honeydew done. We had a bunch of mounded up wood here. I had a lot of dirt in it. I pushed it off down in here. And I drug all this all the way around the camper here. Like I say, it's not a precision instrument. If I had a bobcat, I could probably do a little bit better, but honestly, I think it'd get stuck. This stuff is so soft, but this is stuff we can work with now. Take a rake to it, rake it around, and cleared up those test holes for the perk test. And really liking how this looks once we kind of take a rake to it and rake down some of the high spots. Be real nice. I saved a couple of yuccas. I kind of drove on one there, but really cleaned it up and made it look a lot nicer. Right in here we have a lot of sand, and sometimes it's hard to deal with. So with that being said, I'm going to end it right here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed coming along with me, tearing up stuff, pulling stuff around and scraping stuff down. Got the driveway fixed, got this done, got that pushed out of the way, filled up the hole around the in-ground tank. So I would say it's a win today. Anytime I can take and get a whole lot done in a short amount of time is always a win. So until next time, remember, be excellent in what is good and be innocent of evil. We'll see you later.